6, so they came in prepared for the pressure. We still were able to force 26 turnovers, but we wasn't able to capitalize off those turnovers like we wanted to. I was surprised for the zone. I think the girls were too. I think we missed like 30 doggone shots. It's a zone, 2-3 zone that you should be able to make those shots. But all in all, I thought we held the game there, 8 points all the way up until the fourth quarter, and then didn't do what we need to do down the stretch. We need Layla Blair to have a better shooting night in games like this, because again, she's capable of being able to do that, but she's struggling as well. You're trying to find some offense somewhere, because I thought defensively we were doing pretty good until we had 4 or 5 stretches of not scoring, and now your defense is going to start to break down. But hats off to Baylor. It's a really good team. Another testament to the Big 12. How tough the conference is. It's a dogfight each and every night. And so you have to gather your troops and get them ready to play. And whatever happens, you got to leave it there and move on to the next one. But yeah, that was the game in a nutshell.
Coach, did you like the shots your players took in the second half?
Exactly, I did. High post shot for Cam, 15-foot shot. 2 games ago, she made both of those. Bria short corner shot, she can make those and the threes. Shalexis and Layla and Naya, all those kids, they're capable of making those threes. The thing I wish we would have did was just penetrate the zone a little bit more and be able to create opportunities for others, and that's what we didn't do. We just kind of relied on our shot when we could have been more creative on doing those kind of things. And sometimes they're looking at me for a special play. It's not a special play. Players make plays, and so that's the thing we're trying to get this group to understand. In those tight moments when you have to have a score, you have to have a stop, you have to buckle down to your toughness, have to be able to emerge and get the stop or get the score that you need. But yeah, overall, I thought the shots were good for us, because we wasn't gonna get those shots in man. Those wide open looks with somebody just kind of running at you a little bit. We got to be able to make those.
You forced 26 turnovers, and Baylor still shot well. So what do you think about the defense you guys played overall?
Yeah, I thought, in the first half we really played defense well, and had 13 or 14 at halftime, and it kind of disrupted them a little bit. The second half, I thought we had some turnovers that were around the basket that we could have pushed out and got some shots in transition better. But we didn't push the ball hard enough, and we didn't run hard enough to be able to get down and get those opportunities. And credit to Baylor, they sprint every time, and they get back and they try to take away those transition points. But I think the boards was the difference. They didn't miss a whole lot of shots, and we did, so we had opportunity for offensive rebounds, and they went and got those instead of us. I thought we had a few collisions, where Brittany in the face and Naya, cut chin and all that kind of stuff, and it's just a testament of Big 12 and toughness of what the game is about. Not saying anybody did anything dirty, but again, that's the toughness of what it is. You have to be tough enough to be able to go in and brave those waters, to be able to take care of those rebounds, that be able to help your team win.
Coach, you mentioned the little stretch that Baylor had gone on since y'all played last. What other than the zone, what's different about Baylor this time than when you did play the first time?
Nothing's really different. Imani and Mano, player for player, they have better players than us. Highly ranked, all that kind of stuff, a little bit more experience and things like that. So we knew it was going to be tough on that end. The thing that I thought was different the first time they were playing, off of 13-0 or whatever it is, and they had that swagger going, and it was feeling each other, and all that kind of stuff. Now you're a little fragile when you're coming off of losses, and you're questioning some things and all of that. Like Sarah didn't get to shoot it well, and we started to take some charges on them where they were used to passing those balls and didn't give opportunity for charges last game. So they're just trying to find their way again now too, especially when you lose that like they did at Iowa State in a close game like that, and the Kansas game, they just got ball screen really hurt them that game, that kind of stuff. So that's why we were trying to stick with our ball screen stuff. But the credit to Jada. She did a great job of just getting over and fighting through the ball screen every single time. That's the thing. I said she competed every time to be able to say, no, I'm not going to allow you to be able to use this ball screen. And that was the difference between Layla and Naya getting downhill and creating opportunities for our post.
You mentioned you liked the shots. What do you tell those shooters when they're just not falling, but you're getting open looks? Like, what do you tell them in the huddle?
You gotta have a short memory and keep shooting. We do all these shooting drills in practice, and they're all timed, and they all have a consequence when you don't make it and things like that. So over the last couple of days, I think we had to run once for not making our quota. So I felt pretty good. If we do some zone, we'll be able to make some shots, and they wouldn't stay in it long and things like that. Even if throwing it inside, one-on-one, Peyton have an opportunity on the left side, on the right side of the floor to go to her left hand to be able to finish it, and that didn't even fall. So that's when you as a coach like, oh man, where do you go now? But again, you stick with what you're doing, and you continue to talk to them about you shoot shots every day. It's a reason you do those individuals before and after practice. It's a reason we do those shots and during practice all the time. It's a reason we shoot out of the offense, because again, it wasn't a matchup zone like Iowa State's gonna play or anything like that. It's a basic 2-3 zone. We could get the ball to the wing, we could get the ball to the high post, we could get the ball in the short corner. Bria made a short corner. Layla made a top three. We just miss, those open looks, and those are ones we normally would make.
Any more questions? Coach, at the end of each quarter, I noticed they're going on a little run at the end. So can you explain how the team can, be able to finish the quarters better?
Yeah. Again, that was the thing that we talked about even coming into the game. We wrote finish on the board, finish. So in practice, we put up there in every single drill, and we come down to the last 2 minutes of a drill, we was talking about finish. So it was our emphasis. So that first quarter, we had a really good finish. That second quarter, that going into the half, that's where it started to fall off with us right there. And then as a coach, you're sitting, do I take a timeout, do I sub, that kind of stuff, and you look up there, it's 1:12, and you're like, well, they could get a stop. You don't want to waste it for that, and then you don't finish, and then, it starts to snowball from there. But again, you're right, we talked about finishing a lot, and we didn't do that down the stretch. And, credit to Baylor, because again, when you got, 44 that can be able to take your post out and be able to shoot the three and drive them, and it puts you in some situations where you really have to be able to make some decisions. Blackwell, posting up, those kind of things. So they get you, and then it spreads you out with shooters, and you have to get up there because we're denying. Then they throw it inside, and she have an opportunity to play one-on-one. And they're all, 6 feet, 6'1", and thick bodies. They're not small girls. So again, they're really physical on the inside too. So again, we just got to work on finishing better, being tougher. As the toughest team wins. So that's the thing we talk about a lot. We have some games where we had some toughness against Cincinnati down the stretch, and we didn't have it today. So again, at the end of the day, we roll it up, toss it, and move on to the next one.
Alrighty. Thanks, Coach Hughey.
Thank y'all.